and let's get going. So find the base of your spine on the mat, arms loosely by your sides. You can start as we did last week with feet together and then turn your toes out into first position and bring your heels in line with your toes. For the first couple of exercises, you're very welcome to have something behind your head to be a little bit more comfy, and I'll try and remember to tell you to take them away when you need to. And let's start by breathing and trying to slow down our breath and get rid of some tension. So if you want to, you can just put your hands on your tummy, just underneath your lower ribs, fingers loosely interlocked. Just sink into the mat. And then as you breathe in through your nose, thinking about directing the breath into the back and sides of your ribs, and your fingers should start to expand away from each other a little bit. And as you breathe out, think about pushing all the air out of your body through slightly pursed lips, and your fingers might start to close up again. It might take a while or a few breaths to really find some width and depth. So you can look inside your body and think about your lungs being those massive balloons or bellows. And as you breathe in and they expand, your diaphragm moves down your body to make way for the air. And as you breathe out, the diaphragm contracts up towards your lungs, which allows you to find that pelvic floor connection, which the tummy button to spine thought really helps. So breathe as long and slow as you can. And if you do this, think about relaxing your shoulders, allowing your lower back and ribs to sink into the mat, the base of your pelvis to sink into the mat, feeling your feet nice and heavy. And on your next out breath, really think about that pelvic floor connection. You're thinking about the lift of the diaphragm, the tummy button drawing into the spine. Pull it in as hard as it'll come, and then relax it to about 50% and keep that connection for a few more breaths. And you want to hold that throughout class. So even when you're breathing in, you're thinking about drawing up through the pelvic floor. A slight engagement of that tummy button to spine and allowing the breath to work through that, really getting those deep abdominal muscles to work. And then let's put our hands down by our sides, and we'll do some little side bends in this position. So all the time using that connection. Next time as you breathe in, think about reaching down one arm towards your ankles, and then breathing out, engage tummy button to spine to pull yourself up again. And then the other side. So nice and slow. Nice and controlled. You might find it's a little bit awkward on the neck, so I don't mind if you just want to work one side for a bit and hold a hand behind your head just for extra comfort. The key thing is trying to think about the shoulders, the back of the shoulder blades staying as close to the mat as possible, and just getting some movement through the side of the body. Using your breath, reaching down one side and then breathing out to use the abs and the obliques on the side to lift you back up to center. So if you've been working one side, start to work the other, or just continue alternate sides. Keep that focus on the breath. Keep the base of the spine on the mat, both bum cheeks firmly earthed. That's it. 2 more. And then when you've done, think about re-nodding your chin so you've got an imaginary orange and holding your forearms or your wrists with your arms hovering above your chest. And here, allow the shoulders again to sink into the mat. Sorry, lost my earpiece. And we'll do some thoracic opening. So you want to lead with one elbow down towards the floor. It might not reach it. Just go as far as you can as we breathe in, and then breathing out, tummy button to spine, to bring the arms back to the center point, and then over to the other side. And you might find one shoulder is slightly tighter than the other, so only go as far as you can without causing any pain. You want your pelvis to be nice and heavy still in the mat, feet nice and heavy in the mat, shoulder blades feeling behind you, reaching through the mat, staying nice and earthed. So breathing in to tap down, breathing out to center. Keeping the knees nice and still. Just that top half getting some opening and rotation through the shoulder and stretch. One more to each side. That's it. And then staying where you are, you might need to adjust your hands. We'll do a little clock. So you tap down on one side with the elbows, you breathe in, breathing out, tummy button to spine to keep the ribs down, take the arms up and over the head, round to the other side, and then back to the center, and then reverse the direction. So again, nice and slow. Fiddle with the hand position so you get as much movement as you can without feeling any pain. Keeping the ribs nice and flat so you're not arching your back, still using your breath. That's it, lovely. So if it's really easy, obviously you can hold closer to your elbows. If you're feeling a little bit more restricted this morning, closer to your wrists. Two more in each direction. Keeping control of the abdominals at all times, so tummy button to spine. All the time using that breath. And when you've done your last one, arms down by your sides. Lovely. And if you've got any cushions or head blocks, now is the time just to take them away for a moment. We'll do our pelvic tilts. So reset yourself up, make sure your feet are hip width apart. Think about pressing the feet into the mat and back towards your bottom. So that will give you a little bit of engagement through the back of the leg. And as you breathe out, tummy button to spine, curling the pubic bone a little way towards you to hover the bottom off the mat. And breathe in, placing it back down. So breathing out, tummy button to spine, that drawing in of the abs curls the pubic bone towards you a little bit more. And breathing in to replace. Then think about the shoulders being nice and wide and relaxed, lengthening the neck as you continue to do this. Breathing out, curling up a little bit higher. And breathing in, placing yourself down. Working really slowly all the way up the spine, going higher each time, using your own breath count keeping the knees in line. And again, using that thought of the heels drawing into your body to find a little bit of lower leg engagement. Really working through peeling off and peeling back down. Keeping the pubic bone curled towards you all times, so you've got that nice slight flexion and curve in the lower spine as much as possible. Let's come up to our highest point, so up towards shoulder blades as you breathe out. Try to minimize any rocking from side to side, and at that high point, we're just at the lower end of the base of the scapula. Breath in to hold, breathing out, peeling down, sinking through the front of the body to place the spine piece by piece, upper, middle and lower back, and then your pubic bone uncurls. We'll do 2 more at this level, breathing out, curling the pubic bone towards you, peeling off, keeping as much of that curl as you can as you breathe in, and breathing out, keeping that pubic bone curl towards you as you soften and sink through the mat, placing your spine down. And 1 more, and we're going to stay up here. So breathing out, curling the pubic bone up. Breathing in to hold. And then at the high point, drop your right hip towards the floor. You're still up and curled, and we're going to peel down that side of the spine, keeping that curve until you have to unpeel and recenter. Drop that same hip down to the floor again. So my left hip is up to the ceiling, and I'm going to work and peel off all the way up that right-hand side of mine to the top as you breathe in to center, and then go over to the other side. So my left hip is dropping towards the floor, breathing out, peeling down, centering at the bottom, and then going back up that left side, so curling the pubic bone towards you, peeling off that side of the spine, breathing into center, and over to the other side, and peeling down, working through the spine as much as you can. Back up again. Good. Working down each side of the spine. 1 more on the other side when you're ready to change. So center at the bottom. Keep those feet pressing into the floor and the heels drawing towards you. Keep that body nice and stable. That's looking lovely. Good. And you can have any cushion or head block back for comfort for now. And we'll do our arm and leg slides. So think about your abdominal connection again. Bring both arms up to the ceiling, and again, palms away, shoulders earthed into the mat. And then take your left arm behind your head and stretch your right leg away from you. And really stretch it, but keep the ribs down and engaged. Breathing out. Come back to the start. Breathing in. Extend and stretch the arm and leg away. You might not reach the floor with your arms. It depends how much flexibility you've got today. And I'm only managing to reach them because I'm bending my elbows, which is not what I'm after. And it's that changeover. You're trying to minimize the rocking, and that is where that tummy button to spine to get the abs and pelvic floor engaged. Do a lot of good work. Reaching away. Nice, slow and controlled breath. Finding extension through the foot, through the leg. Think about the back of the shoulder blade. Just sliding in as if you've injected yourself with WD-40. keeping those abs engaged. Lovely. Good. Make sure your chins are nodded so your necks are nice and long. No strain. That's it. One more on each side. Little moment to gather our thoughts, thinking about our ab connection. You can either have arms long, or if you want to, hands behind your head. We're going to do some curl ups. So we're going to do 5. So think about nodding the chin, tummy button to spine. That tummy button to spine keeps increasing to pull your lower ribs towards your pelvis. So you end up looking between your knees and then breathing in to replace yourself back down. Breathing out. Use that abdominal work to bring yourself up. So you shouldn't be feeling anything in your neck. And we've got 3 more of these. Breathing out, abs work, and chin is nodded, reaching forward. That's it. Breathing in to restack. Breathing out, tummy button to spine. Slide those ribs forward so your tummy doesn't stick up to the ceiling. It's sinking in through your body, getting a 6-pack, but deep inside. Breathing out, curling forwards. And breathing in to return back down. This time I'm going to disrupt things a little bit. I'm going to get us all to curl up. If you've got hands behind your head, extend them in front of you along your body. And we're just going to paddle. And I'm going to count for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And lie back down again. So that's another way of just working the core and disrupting your brain patterns. So let's do our curl ups again. Do 5, curling forward. And breathing into, relax back to the mat. Let's see, to breathing out. That's it, lovely Jeanette. Good, Jackie, that's it, Elaine. Back. And number 3. Breathing out, think tummy button to spine, curling forward and back. 2 more. That's it, Jackie, good. Nice technique, everyone. And on this one, curling forward, reaching those arms forward and count for 10, 9, 8, 7, tummy button to spine, 4, 3, 2, 1, and lie back. If you need to hug your knees in for a little breather, feel free. And then we're going to take the arms, palms together, so in a nice little diamond shape, and we'll do our obliques. So you're going to roll the upper half of the body to the outside of one knee, nod the chin, tummy button to spine, reach those fingers beyond the knee, keeping both bum cheeks down, and back to center. And the other side, tummy button to spine. You'll rotate your body, reaching beyond the outside of the other knee, keeping the pelvis down, and back to center. And keep going. So keep the chins nodded. Imagine you're holding that orange. That's it. And back. Breathing out. Use your breath. Slightly pursed lips. I can't hear you, so you can make as much noise as you like. It really helps. Getting rid of the air, makes space for the movement, engages those muscles, gets them working. And again, you don't need to come up really, really high. If you feel one side of your body is lifting off the mat, just take the lift a little bit lower. And sink down and into the body with that tummy button and lower abdominal area. That's it. So breathing out, rotate and lift. That's it. Good, Elaine. Have 2 more on each side, nearly there. Good, final set. Keep that bum cheek down the right leg. That's it, Elaine. And then if you need to, again, hug your knees in once you've done your last one. Have a little rock from side to side because we're going to do our 100. So today you can keep your feet on the floor if you want to, or if you want that extra challenge, bring them up to tabletop, but make sure you've got your lower back into the mat. Then we do our little curl up, nod the chin, tummy button to spine, curl you forward, arms nice and long, and we beat for the armpits as I count in 2, 3, 4, 5, breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, in, out. Keep sinking from the armpits, keep the chins nodded. You want to keep your body stable, no rocking. 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, nearly there. 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, last set. 2, 3, 4, 5, out, 2, 3, 4, 5, and relax back and hug your knees in and have a breath. Good, you're all looking really rock solid. That's wonderful. Might take that up a step next time. Okay. Staying in this position for one last exercise, we'll work on the back of our legs and back in our bridging. So no head blocks or cushions behind the head for this. I'll do this 3 ways today. Starting simple, narrowing at the hips and bum, squeeze the bum to lift. Think knees going over the toes. So again, feet flat on the floor, heels drawing into the body, breath into hold, breathing out. Imagine you're being karate chopped smoothly at that hip joint to replace. So breathing out, narrow, squeeze and lift. Knees aiming towards the toes, feet stay on the floor. And karate chop to return. If you find you're cramping at all, have a little play. You might want to take your legs and feet further away to your body, from your body, or slightly closer in. But think nice, smooth movement. Really focus on narrowing into the body as if you're being squeezed inwards from side to side. That's it. So you're only coming up to shoulders. You're not on your neck. And that squeezing of the bum is lifting and working the glutes and the hamstrings and the lower back. So there's no peeling off for this one. It's just a squeeze and lift. That's it. Good. And then think really long through the front of your body. So reach those knees away from you. Yes, that's it, Elaine. Good. Good, Jackie. Lovely, Jeanette. Good. And everyone's feet are on the floor. It's wonderful. Good, good, good. One more of these and let's hold it up there. And then as a precursor for our full Pilates bridge, which we won't do today, we're just going to peel the heel off so you can keep your toes off on the ground, sorry, and place it down. So all the time, trying to not rock on that changeover, just lifting and lowering one heel, then the other. So you want to keep the bum squeezing, a little bit of challenge, keeping the shoulders nice and relaxed. Just keep breathing, keep squeezing the bum. using our body as a bit of a weight, working against gravity. So that's all good. Strengthening. That's it. One more on each side. And let's come down to the mat. So karate chop at the pelvis. And then again, breathing out, narrow squeeze and lift. Hold it up there. And then you can just lift your toes. So imagine you're tapping your toes on the floor. So heels stay down. Keep squeezing that bum. Still trying to keep nice and stable around the abs. So that tummy button to spine is still working. Shoulders are relaxed. You're breathing and breathing. Getting some different work and stretch and mobilization through the ankle, through the lower leg, whilst holding yourself up and working your whole body. That's it. 2 more on each side. And then coming back down, karate chop. Final lot, this time with arms. So narrow squeeze, lift, think long front of the body, knees to toes. And just take your arms behind your head. So again, stretching out. And then bring them down by your side. So nice and relaxed movement. Keep squeezing the bum, especially if you're finding any cramp. Just breathe. Shoulders nice and heavy into the mat. Lovely. Last 2. Final 1. And then karate chop back down. Wonderful, well done. Jeanette, it's 9:30, just in case you're so into class, you miss everybody who's staying with me. Rolling onto our fronts, we will work the back of our body again. Lovely to see you. So if you've got a cushion or pad, just have it under your forehead. We will do our arrow. So think about your position. You might want to just turn your thighs to make sure the front of your thighs are on the mat. Your tailbone is reaching away, so your pubic bone is pressing a little bit further into the mat. Your shoulders are away from your ears and down towards the mat. So you just relax in this position for a moment to see how it feels today. And from there, on your next in-breath, you lift the shoulders away from the mat. Out-breath, they slide down your back, which hovers the arms. You reach fingers to the toes. Breathing in, turn the arms so the thumbs come to the ceiling. And breathing out, replace yourself down. Allow the shoulders to sink forward. So breathing in, lift the shoulders. Breathe out, slide them down the back so you're lifting your chest ever so slightly. Reaching fingers for toes, thumbs to the ceiling as you breathe in and rotate the arms. And breathing out, place yourself down. So breathe in, lift the shoulders. Breathe out, hover the arms, rotate as you breathe in, thumbs to the ceiling, crown of the head reaching away. And place yourself down as you breathe out. Keeping the legs down, breathing in, lift the shoulders. Breathe out, reach and hover the arms. Breathing in, thumbs to the ceiling. Breathing out, place yourself down. And again, breathe in, lift those shoulders away. Slide them down your back, make it a separate movement. Rotate the arms, thumbs to the ceiling. That's it, lovely. And then breathing out, place yourself down. We'll do 1 more of these. Breathing in, lift the shoulders. Breathe out, reach fingers to the toes and hover. Thumbs to the ceiling through rotating in the shoulder. And then breathing out, place yourself down. Lovely. If you need to sit back into a child pose to stretch out, but we just do one more set of these, but with a little side bend. So you can lift the shoulders, same thing. And then on your breath, you can just reach down again, like we did at the start, back to center. So all the time your pubic bone is earthed into the mat, your legs are earthed into the mat. The shoulders are sliding down so your heart is reaching away. And then you place yourself back down to the mat. And then you do the other side first. So you use your own breath. So you can breathe in to lift the shoulders, breathe out, reach fingers for your toes. In your next in-breath, slide your hand down one side of your body, back to center. And then slide down the other side. And back to center. And then place yourself down. And again. So you use your breath. Elaine, keep those legs down on the floor. That's it, good. Jackie, I hope that was your technology and not you. Good, one more set. That's it. Good, Elaine. Brilliant. Then relax, sit back into a child pose just to release the back. Have a little breath. We're going to stay on our fronts for a short while. Coming back down, just going to isolate the bottom, which we were using on the bridge quite happily. So either with a pad in front, or if it's more comfy, just make a triangle. Turn your feet out and your whole legs out, so you're resting on your big toe joints. It sometimes helps find that connection. Make sure the shoulders are relaxed and dripping down your back. And on your next out breath, focus on squeezing in at the hips to really hold 100% glute squeeze, bums squeezing together, holding a 50-pound note, holding that for a count of 10, 100% effort. And then relax. If it's not comfy with those feet completely turned out, just separate the legs and do the same thing. So you want to be really finding that squeeze in the bum, 100% effort. The rest of your body stays doing nothing but relaxing, holding it for a count of 10, and then allowing those muscles to relax. So there'll be a little bit of tummy button connection, but the real focus is on the back of that, back and sides of the bum. Isolating those, getting them to work independently of the rest of the leg and the rest of the body. That's good, because I can see a difference in both of you when that squeeze is happening. Lovely. One more set. Really just focus on squeezing the bum towards each other, both sides, keeping the rest of the body nice and relaxed. Counting to 10. And then relax. So make sure your legs are separated. We'll do some hamstring work again. So the front of the thigh is on the mat, legs are separated. We'll work on our right leg to start with. So as we breathe out, just slightly flex the foot. Think about drawing the leg in towards the bum and then extending away as you breathe in. And again, allow the shoulders to drip down your back. So the focus is on a little bum squeeze and then a hamstring curl. You won't come all the way into your bottom, but you want to think about tracking the heel as if it was aiming for the mid side of that glute muscle. And we'll focus on one leg at a time. I should have said that first. So the foot is just nice and loose. It's not doing anything. So nice and slowly. That's it. 2 more on this leg. Breathing out to draw it in nice and slowly, a little bit too fast, Elaine. And final time. That's it. And then have a breath and change sides. So you're keeping your top half nice and stable, shoulders are nice and relaxed. Breathing out, squeeze the bum 50% and draw that knee in. So I can see those hamstrings working, that's good. Jackie, allow your feet just to relax a little bit more. Nice. And you've got 3 more on this leg. Good. Use your breath. Breathe out. Bend it in. Breathing in to extend, and final time. And if you need to, again, just sit back into a child pose, have a little breath. We've got 1 more bar exercises facing front, working on the back of the body. So coming back down, we'll do our swimming. So if you can, have arms out in front of you. Legs will be parallel, so really, again, make sure the front of your thighs are on the mat. Your legs are nice and straight. And we will just think about squeezing the bum, lengthening the leg away and lifting it, and thinking about the shoulder blade drawing down the back to lift the arm. You can keep your head down on your pillow if you wish. And then change sides. So we're going to be doing the dog in a moment. So this is exactly the same thing, except lying down. Just focuses on different areas of the muscle. And of course, different challenges in different positions. So nice and slow for this one. So one more set. And then thinking about, as you're both doing really well, we will speed it up a bit more, this time with the skydive. So think drawing the shoulders down the back, lift the arms, lift the head, and think the heart reaching away, then squeeze the bum, lift the legs. So you're in a hovering position, and then tap down. You're keeping your body stable. Breathing all the time. Keep the chin nodded, Jackie. That's it. So crown of the head reaching away. Elaine, I can't see your head, so I trust that that's chin nodded as well. And final 5, and 4, and 3, and 2, and 1. And relax. And then sit back into that child pose. Knees nice and wide. Breathe into the back so you can reach your hands away from you or take them round behind you, whichever is more comfy. And then let's go straight into the dog. So we come onto our hands and knees. Elaine, I hope it's all right on your knees again. So finding that nice flat back position, you might want to think about just where your shoulders are and allow the upper back to sink between your shoulder blades, and just draw it back up again to find as much width in the back of the shoulders as you can. Have a look between your knees, and your feet should be in line with where your knees are. And then allow your tummies just to hang down to the mat. And then your next out breath, draw them up and hold them there for that 50%. And keep that connection. And then on your next out breath, extend one arm and leg. And breathe in to come back to the start position. And then change sides. So depending on how you're feeling today and how stable you are, the real focus is on making sure we stay rock solid through that changeover position. So if you want to have arm and foot on the floor, that's perfectly fine. Much rather the technique was good. If you're feeling you're fine, you can extend and hover and lift off the ground. So Jackie, this is a really good one for your SI joint, for strengthening and supporting. That's it. Elaine, you might want to take your knees slightly further back. That's it. And your hands slightly further in a tiny bit. I know that sounds a bit counterintuitive. Yeah, that's good. Good. Good changeover. Keep thinking the abs drawing in. Keep space between the upper shoulders and your ears. Your eye line will be just in front of your hands. Use your breath. Don't be afraid to use your breath to keep that controlled. And we'll do one more on each side. Good. Then sit back. Just give your wrists a little bit of a wriggle, because we're going to do some push-up. Work on our bingo wings. We're going to stay in our dog position. I want you to focus. You probably want to walk your hands one pace further forward. Have the creases of your elbows facing front. So we're going to work on our triceps. So rotate your arms so the creases are at the front. Your thingy is at the back. I can't think of the right bone, hopeless. And from there, just going to dip down as far as you're comfortable and pressing up. So you're not doing anything in the shoulders. It's bending the elbows. Tummy button is drawing into the spine. So you can imagine you're praying. For example, if you want to, you can cross your ankles and you want to take your nose towards the mat and the front of your fingers. And you'll soon feel tired. I can promise you that. Good, Jackie. Elaine, turn your arms so your elbows are pointing behind you. So they seem to be going out at the moment. That's it. So we're working the back of our arms. Hands still facing forward. That's it. From there. Yes. Yes. That's it. Have a rest whenever you want to, because you've been going for ages, Jackie. Good. That, yeah, well adjusted, Elaine. Good. That's it. Good work. Just a few more. That's it. Lovely. One more. Well, we're all going to feel this later. And then sit back, stretch, stretch the arm across the body, wriggle the wrists. And then change sides. Lovely. Oh, let's release off a little bit. So coming onto our sides. So as always, if you want a cushion or pad in between your long arm and your head, we're going to start with our double leg lift. So you're thinking hip over hip, shoulder over shoulder, and you might want to just draw that underneath shoulder a little bit further underneath yourself. Stretch the top line of the body away, and on your next out breath, breathing out to lift and hover, and breathing in to lower down. So if you want a hand in front for balance, try not to grip too much, but feel free. And if you're hovering your head, just turn it to look at the mat to make sure there's no straining in the neck. And the legs stay glued together. So you're getting the connection through the inner thighs. That's it. Good. Remember, you're thinking about the underneath waist, drawing away from the mat into the body. Keep as stable as you can. Breathing out to lift. Breathing in to lower. 2 more, breathing out to lift. Lower. Final 1. And lower. Then bend your knees up and we'll do our shell. So you want to have a quick look, think about the heels just in line with your bum. And like last week, that was quite successful. Just put a hand behind you so you can feel if you're rocking backwards. And then breathing out just to lift the knee. Breathing into lower. All the time, trying to keep the top half relaxed. And lower. Thinking tummy, button to spine, underneath waist, drawing away. And if you find you're pressing into your hands, just don't open so far or think knee going forward and up. Try and keep the heels together as well. So that gives a little bit of extra resistance. That's it, good. Again, nice and slow. Breathing out to open. Yep. Breathing in to close. 2 more. Final 1. Then keep the knees bent where they are. Just lift the top leg to hip height. And keeping in the same position, you just bend the knee up towards you, sort of 2 little pulses, and then take it behind you, 2 little pulses. Again, try not to rock and lift the bottom leg off the mat. So keeping control of that tummy button to spine. Think about the underneath leg pressing into the mat. Make sure you're taking tension out of your shoulders. Getting some nice mobility through the hip. If you get any pinching in the back when it comes behind you, don't go so far. 2 more. Tummy button to spine, underneath waist, shoulders relaxed. Final 1. And then bring the top knee back in line. Keep it off and held just up. And we'll do the shell here. So you just open for 10. Down. And 9. And 8. And 7. And 6. And 5. And 4. and 3. Quite tiring. 2. Final time. And relax. Just give that hip a little bit of a rub and roll over and do the other side. So starting nice and long with double leg lift. Finding that hip over hip, shoulder over shoulder. And again, hand underneath for balance if you need to. If you found or find your legs are going behind you as you lift, just angle them forward a little bit further to start with. And then as you breathe out, lift and hover, breathing in to release down to the mat. So breathing out, thinking about the underneath leg doing some of that heavy lifting. Think tummy button to spine, underneath waist, drawing away, shoulders relaxed, using your breath. And down. Elaine, watch it. For me, it looks like the legs are going behind you when you lift. So just be mindful of that. It might be the camera angle because it does sometimes make things look different. So I know I've said it before. If I'm saying something that you think is blatantly wrong, ignore me. I won't be offended. That's it. Remember, looking at the mat, if you've got any straining in the neck. Good. And 3 more. And 2. Nice and slow and controlled. Use those abs still. Final one. And then bending the knees up, ready for the shell. Again, hand behind you, just as a guide. Feet stay glued together. Breathing out, lift the knee without rocking back. Breathing in to close. Breathing out and in. That's it. Shoulders relaxed. Underneath waist, still drawing away from the mat. 2 more. Lovely. And then lifting the leg to hip height. 2 pulses forward. 2 pulses back, thinking about that underneath leg glued into the mat. Pressing down as a counterbalance, opening up the hip as it comes behind you. Using the leg as a weight. That's it. Allow the feet just to be. Shoulders still relaxed. Tummy buttons to spine. 2 more. Final one. Final time behind, opening the hip. Then bring the knee back in line. Keep it up there. Final shell for 10 as you breathe out. And 9. And 8. And 7. And 6. And 5. And 4. And 3. And 2. And 1. Brilliant. Well done. Give that hip a little bit of love. Let's stretch out actually with those hips. So take your legs either side of your mat as a nice guide. You can put hands behind your head. We'll do our wide hip rolls. So I'm going to drop my right knee to the floor, left knee towards the right ankle and look away from those knees. Have a few deep, wide breaths in this position. And the focus should very much be stretching out that hip flexor at the front of my left leg. If you're doing it the same way as me. Tummy button to spine on your next out breath. Bring your knees back towards the ceiling. and then drop to the other side. So my left knee goes first, my right knee reaches towards my left ankle, turning away, breathing, breathing, breathing. And then on the next out breath, tummy button to spine, draw it back to center, and do one more over to the other side, each direction. That's it. And on your next out breath, use that tummy button to spine to pull the knees to center. Final time over the other way. Good. Tummy button to spine, staying down there. Just cross one ankle over the other leg. Grab the standing leg, so to speak, and draw it in. And you can use your elbow to press out that bent knee. So feeling a stretch around the back and the side of the hip this time, not glute squeeze area. And think about where your breath is. Direct it into any areas that feel really tight, that have worked so hard. And then if you can, straighten that underneath leg. Flex the foot. Think about the heel coming to the ceiling. So you're adding in a bit of a hamstring stretch here, trying to keep the bum down on the mat as well. And then bend the knee, foot on the floor, change sides. So cross the other leg over, hug the underneath leg into the body. Get a beautiful stretch around the outside of that other hip. Breathing, breathing, breathing. Oh, it feels quite nice. Definitely need a stretch. And then extend the underneath leg. Flex that foot, heel to the ceiling if you can. Otherwise, you can just have it down on the ground, flexing it away. Hugging it in closer if it's in the air. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Relax. Release, feet down on the ground. And let's finish how we started. So you can just lengthen the legs away. Have your hands loosely on the ribs. And just breathe. Nice and wide and full. Breathing out. Relaxing, feeling everything sinking into the mat. As the sun's coming out, feeling warmth through your bodies. They've worked really hard today. Breathing in. Breathing out. One more nice deep breath. Blow all the air out. And then you can roll over onto your side and gradually come back into the room. Everything's done and dusted.